Hello everyone, this is Introvert Shy Guy and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Okay, so where we left off, we went with Lily to find Hanako a birthday present, and then we went to class and fucking Shizune and Misha just had to open their mouths and have like Hisayo mention that he went with Lily without Hanako, and then Hanako went into some kind of almost catatonic like shock and is filled with anxiety, and it wasn't really that great, to be honest. So yeah, anyway, today is February the 19th, so yeah, let's get started. Anyway, alrighty, falling. We're gonna see the nurse again. We're at the nurse's office. So yeah, I do remember I actually read this before, but I'm just gonna read it again. I should actually learn about when I call off something, I should just not read the text and only read it when I come back, but you know. So yeah, after Hanako silently takes off her shoes and lies on the bed in the infirmary, the nurse and I take our leave. He shuts the curtain behind us, we both take a seat, and I quietly and thoroughly go through everything that happened in quite some detail. I want to understand what happened, and the nurse has as good a chance as anyone of knowing. He nods throughout my explanation, his face looking troubled as I finish. It must have been very troubling for you to have seen all this. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. If I said it wasn't. I get that she fainted, but I don't really understand anything about why it happened or why she's acting like this. He nods, but his face is clouded. You don't know either? Well, yes and no, it's complicated. I assume you've heard about the concept of patient confidentiality at some point. This is a bit of a minefield in that respect. I'm going to put this pretty bluntly. This is a matter for Ikezawa, me, and her therapist. I move to protest, but think better of it. I want to deny what he says, but if I think this through rationally, what he says makes perfect sense. I understand. Good. I wish I could help you more, but I think what Ikezawa needs right now isn't somebody prying into her past or her emotions. She just needs somebody to be there for her. She needs a friend. For what it's worth, I think you've done well in bringing her here. Sounds like you and your friends dealt with the situation well too. I'd give you a lollipop or a sticker as a reward, but you might be a little too old for either. He gives a cocky grin, obviously trying his best to lighten the atmosphere. I'm not really in a laughing mood, but he does manage to get a smile out of me. Thanks. Do you mind if I stay here with Hanako? I appreciate the thought, but I think it would be better to let her rest for now. She'll be let back to her dormitory room this evening, so you could visit her then. I agree with him before standing. It feels like all I can ever do around the nurse is humbly agree to what he says, but it was the same with the doctors in the hospital too. The walk back to the classroom is a long one, my mind feeling heavy under the weight of so many things happening so suddenly. Even as I re-enter the classroom, I'm thinking about Hanako. My stomach feels like it's turning into knots while I think about how to deal with her. I still don't know what I'm going to say when I see her again. Thankfully, the class doesn't pay me much heed. There are a couple of questioning glances, but overall, not many people seem to be very aware of what happened. Mutao raises his eyebrows to get my attention when I pass by his desk. Nakai, I take it Ikezawa is in the infirmary now. Yeah, I took her there and the nurse said I should let her rest. Mutao nods, assuring me that I made the right call. He scratches his chin for a second before rising from his desk. Everyone, I want you to continue with the exercise. Nakai, I'll see you in the hallway, please. His speech is hushed, but overall he doesn't seem to be acting too differently from how he usually does. Being a teacher, maybe it's to be expected. As we go out into the hallway, I notice him taking a quick glance left and right to check if there are any students milling around. The hallway is nearly soundless, but I can't think of anything except waiting for Mutao to speak. Nakai, what do you think the purpose of this school is? To cater to the needs of disabled students? Mutao scratches his head as he shakes it. No, if we wanted to do that, we would have built a whole new school from scratch. One floor, talking whiteboards, that kind of thing. Look around, Nakai. This school is about giving you all a future that you would have been denied in regular education. Huh? Think of it this way. If we wanted you to graduate and go straight into a hospital, do you think we'd put in this much effort? The bluntness of Mutao's statement temporarily stuns me, causing me to forget about the immediate situation. No. That's right, we want you all to leave here as useful members of society. I'm not quite sure I'm following you. I have high hopes for you, Nakai. You are possibly the first student I've had that gets my lectures. That isn't something that a teacher should be admitting so freely. You could easily take your studies of science well into university. Have you ever considered that? I can't say I have. Well, what have you considered? For your future, that is. I can't say that I've put much thought into my future. For a moment, I'm distinctly reminded of Lily questioning me about the same subject. It's only been a little over 5 months since I was gasping for air on the ground. It's too soon to be thinking about the future, and besides, Hanako's problems seem much bigger to me right now. Mutao gives a disapproving sigh before continuing. Think of this place as an opportunity. Here you have boundless facilities, good teachers, plus the added bonus of the nurse and his staff. You should be doing nothing but thinking of the future. Right. As I raise my head to meet his gaze, a thought occurs to me. It's almost like Mutao totally sidestepped the issue at hand. Excuse me, but why do none of the staff seem to care when Hanako skips class? I've seen you watch her walk out of class more than once. Shouldn't you at least say something? Well, Nakai, it's not really that simple. Every student here has special needs. If it weren't for that, then we wouldn't have a school here. For example, I wouldn't keep you in class if you were having trouble breathing, would I? But that's not... Mutao cuts me off before I can even think about finishing my sentence. Ikezawa's case is very much like that, but instead of CPR or a pacemaker, what she needs is time and space. The faculty was made aware of this from the day she arrived here, thus whenever she feels the need to leave classes, we let her do so. And even though she isn't a star pupil, she seems to pass all of her exams, so it hasn't affected her ability to study. Isn't that enough? I open my mouth to protest, but I can't find a fault in his argument. While her condition does at first seem to be wholly physiological, its worst effects have been on her psyche. It still puts me off though. Isn't he just passing on the responsibility for her problem? Surely she can't go like this for her entire life. I understand that you might not be used to this kind of thing yet. It's been a big change for you. That said, it's less than a year until graduation now. Maybe you won't have to get used to this school if you keep your head down. I'm sure you'll do well enough in your exams. I numbly nod more to simply acknowledge that I'm listening than out of agreement. I felt like I was getting used to this school, but it feels like it's just been thrown back in my face. But what about Hanako? I hope that she will perform well enough to do what she wants to do. What that is, I don't know. Not all students leave school with an idea of what they want to do, unfortunately. He takes care to emphasize the last word as if it wasn't quite clear enough already, and gives me a moment to mull his words over. Today's been a troublesome day for you, and I doubt you'd be able to concentrate much anyway after all that's happened, so I'll allow you to take the rest of the day off. Oh wow, that's so nice. Your grades have been good in this class so far, which makes me think you won't have any trouble catching up on what we've been doing. He gives a small smile along with his praise, as if to make up for the seriousness of his lecturing before now. Go collect your things, and I'll see you tomorrow. Right, thank you. Katawa's roundabout speech has left my thoughts scattered. I'm still not any closer to working out what I can do to help Hanako. If anything, and my mind is all the more confused after what Matao said. I'm also still bothered by the fact that Hanako was helped at least as much by Shizune, her enemy by proxy, as by myself, but I don't know whether that is just male bravado or a genuine concern. While I collect Hanako's and my things from the class, I continue to try and sort out my feelings. I want to say that I understand her and that I'm there for her, but while I might have been able to say that just yesterday, I can't say it now. I wish I could. I lay on my bed trying to collect my thoughts. After Hanako's panic attack, I found myself fundamentally reassessing the relationship we shared, what I know about her. I had a hard enough time dealing with 4 months in the hospital. One look at her scars tells me that she was in one for a lot longer than I was. Be that as it may, I know next to nothing about her past. She has told me about the house fire, but only in the most basic way. And what of her family? I still haven't asked Lily about them. There hasn't been a good opportunity to bring it up. I don't know where she grew up or what her old school was like, nor of her past, friends, her wishes and ambitions. Not even her tastes in music, food, and movies. All the little things that I knew about all of my old friends. Just what have I been doing for all this time? I've been with her and Lily. In the distance, I hear the bells signaling the end of classes. With any luck, Lily will soon realize that neither Hanako nor I are around and return to the dormitories. My mobile phone starts to ring, cutting my thinking short. It quite startles me, as I've rarely been called since coming to Yamaku. Hello, Hisaya Nakai speaking. Oh, Hisaya, I'm glad I found you. You weren't at any of our usual places, so I thought this would be the fastest way to contact you. I probably should have guessed it would be Lily, as she's one of the few people I've given my number to. Even through the phone, her voice sounds slightly on edge. Hanako and I left class early. She had some kind of panic attack. The line goes silent. If it weren't for the background static, I would have thought Lily had hung up on me. I understand. Could you come by my room? I'd like to talk with you. Sure, I'd appreciate the chance to have a bit of a talk, actually. Good. I also have some bad news. I think we should discuss this in person. Oh, shit. It's hard to grasp the seriousness of the situation from Lily's tone. She sounds so calm most of the time, but that could be a good or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. Okay, I'll be right there. I collect Hanako's school things from my desk and head straight for Lily's room. I wrap my knuckles on her door and she soon calls me in. Lily sits at the table inside her room looking a little worse for wear. I guess that's because of the bad news. Following her gestures of invitation, I sit across from her and lay Hanako's things on the table. Well, there's no point in either of us waiting. Would you mind going first, Hisaya? What happened today? My memory of the incident is already beginning to fade, but I explain it as best I can to Lily. Inviting Hanako to work with the group, Shizune and Misha's questioning our foray to town getting discovered, and the subsequent panic attack. I add Shizune's reaction almost as an afterthought, but Lily seems to take some kind of comfort in hearing about it. I guess rivals don't become rivals for no reason. There must be some history there, but now is the time to explore it. I see, she had said her therapist sessions were helping, but I had my doubts. It's quite a shame. Her birthday has caused problems before, but I had hoped that she would have improved with you around in the more intensive therapy. Where is Hanako now? Last time I saw her, she was in the infirmary. I guess she's gone back to her room by now. She wasn't in the library or the tea room when I checked, so I can only assume that too. You said you also had some bad news. What's the matter? Does it concern Hanako? Lily shifts her position, the body's way of saying she's searching for the right words. My aunt has fallen gravely ill. I'm afraid I'm going to be heading back to Scotland to visit her and to spend some time with my family. I think she also mentioned that before in the Lily arc. Although I could be wrong, but yeah, I do remember her. She had to go to Scotland for something and then she came back. So I think it's the exact same like timeline of sorts, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah. What? Is she all right? When do you leave? I'm not altogether sure of exactly how she's faring at the moment, though last I heard she was stable. I'll be leaving Saturday. It's the earliest flight that I could get. Stable? That's code word. That's code word. I'm sorry. That's code for needs to stay in the hospital. I've been stable long enough to know that, and to know that it doesn't necessarily mean someone is in good condition, but merely treading water. On the upside, stable is much better than critical condition. At least she's not on the brink of death. Stable? That's a relief. Yes, but this means that I won't be here for Hanako's birthday. Oh shit, that sucks. I guess this is not... Oh, no, wait. I guess, like, I don't know if in the Lily arc they did celebrate Hanako's birthday together, but I'm pretty sure it was like much earlier compared to her actual birthday because of this, you know? And I'm pretty sure this has kind of changed some that, yeah, she's not going to be at her birthday, but that sucks, yeah. I wanted to tell you now so we could think of something before we told Hanako, but after today's events, I'm not even sure if there's going to be an issue if we simply cancel the party. Yeah, so I don't really know if the whole sick aunt thing is there at the Lily arc, but maybe it was, but, you know, it's like slightly changed or something. I don't know. I just want to point that out there, that don't, like, you know, think that I remember every single little detail from the last arcs, because it has been about 2 years ago since I played it, the Lily arc, so yeah, you know, just putting that out there. So if there's going to be an issue if we simply I wanted to tell you now, think of something before we tell Hanako, but after today's events, I'm not even sure if there's going to be an issue if we simply cancel the party. I don't know if I've already read this before, so I apologize. I don't think that is such a good idea. Hanako already knows that we were planning a party now. To go back on that seems like the wrong thing to do. Also, we should do something for your going away, right? You make it sound as if I won't be coming back. If all goes well, I should only be away for a week, though possibly 2. That's one relief at least. With that in mind, what do you suggest then? Given the circumstances, I don't think karaoke is really... Yeah, don't fucking do karaoke. That does not seem like something that, after a time like that, is a good thing to do. So, I don't think karaoke is really appropriate. You're not going away for the greatest of reasons, so having too much fun would feel wrong. What do you do for her birthday last year? Last year, I literally couldn't get her out of her room. She'd locked the door. Oh shit, that sucks. All I could do was leave food outside for her, making sure that she was at least eating well. This is perhaps the most depressed I've ever seen and heard Lily act. I feel sorry for her given how defeated she must feel to be unable to help her closest friend. By the way, me laughing, that's not like, you know, I'm just like, you know, that was just for how, like, you know, just unfortunate this whole thing is. So it's like out of, you know, I would say like how melancholy this whole thing is. So it's more of a, like a, I don't know, my way of how I feel like when reading this game, like the unfortunate circumstances and stuff, you know. I just want to like I said, put that out there, you know. I don't want, you know, some of you guys thinking why I'm reacting this way. I'm just thinking of all the like negative odds like stacking up and stuff and all that. So, you know. I feel sorry for her given how defeated she must feel to be unable to help her closest friend. Apologies for the background noise, but, you know. Perhaps it would be better to throw the party before you leave then. That does sound like it would be the easiest option. Okay, I'm gonna wait a bit until the background noises leave. Alright, sorry about that. I know I said that there was like a background noise and I was gonna continue onward, but I thought it was just gonna be like something you hear a little bit, but then it would leave, and then it just got louder, so then I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna pause for a bit. But anyway, it's gone now, so we can now continue. That does sound like it would be the easiest option. I think we should at least tell Hanako both about your trip and her party. I have her things from class as well. That's a good point. Should we go and visit her now? I think that would be a good idea. Part of me is dying to see Hanako. The last time I saw her, she looked like death walking, and these last few hours have torn me apart just thinking about that. We quietly get up and file out of Lily's room. Hanako's room is next door in the same hallway. Knocking lightly gets us no response, but the door proves to be unlocked. Lily pauses for a moment as the handle unexpectedly moves under her hand before opening the door. Oh, we're gonna also see what's Hanako's room's like. I'm curious. Hanako's room is startlingly bare. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce it. And monotone. There are no decorations on the plain white walls, a plain dark blue blanket, and only a few books, papers, and purely utilitarian items on the shelves. Oh wow, that's really gloomy. Even her bedsheets are monochrome. The entire room feels as subdued as Hanako's character. Hanako herself is laying curled up on her bed. She may not be crying now, but her eyes are closed tightly to stop herself, and the tracks left by her tears still sit on her reddened cheeks. I quietly walk in and set her bag down on her desk, afraid of startling her too much. Hello, Hanako. Hisayo told me about what happened today. Are you alright? Hanako's eyes open, though only a little. I'm okay. She tilts her head slightly to look at me, noticing my grimacing before I can hide it. Says sorry for making you worry. Really, I'm fine now. She really doesn't look nor sound okay, though at least she seems more calm than she was before. She still looks as if the slightest breath could emotionally break her. I said it before, right? You don't need to be sorry for this. Hisayo's right. I shouldn't have hidden something like a birthday celebration from you. I see Hanako shiver at the word. Lily picks up on the silence that follows and crouches down to Hanako's level. I'm the one who should be sorry, Hanako. Hanako's eyes open to peer at Lily. She looks at Lily for some time, talking in her face with those dark, analytical eyes of hers. Lily must have made the right impression on her. As Hanako recovers enough to prop herself up on the bed and shift to sitting on its side, Hanako worries about many things, but troubling others is foremost among them. Hearing Hanako's shuffling, Lily moves forward and feels out the side of the bed, eventually taking a seat beside her and taking Hanako's left hand in both of hers. The feeling of me being out of place when the two are together has lessened in the time that we've known each other, but it's still occasionally very much there. This is one of those times, I think. Lily, if you want me to go... I don't want that. Lily and I are both surprised at Hanako mustering her courage. A half-mumbled okay is all I can give her in reply, and I take her desk chair to sit in. Hanako, I'm afraid I have some bad news. So Lily's going to break the news now. With Hanako having affirmed our relationship so clearly, perhaps Lily thought the timing was good, or at least as good as it will ever be. My aunt has fallen ill, so I need to return to my family for a time. Concern replaces Hanako's remorseful expression. Your family? You mean in Scotland, right? That's right. Akira and I will be leaving Saturday. So you're going away? I won't be gone for long, probably only a week or two. I'll be back before you know it, and Hisayo will be here, right? We'll be here, right? That's right, I'm not going anywhere. Hanako seems to take only minor comfort in this, but she does manage to summon some resolve from somewhere inside her. Is your aunt going to be alright? I'm not sure. Silence falls. It's depressing that the thing to truly bring Hanako out of her rut is another's misfortune. I decide to bring up the other matter that brought us here, to distract at least in part from the dismal feeling permeating the room. Anyway, we were thinking that it would be a good idea to have a going away party for Lily, and it could double as, yeah. I cut myself off before mentioning her birthday, as that seems to be a trigger for such fierce emotions within her. Lily gives Hanako's hand a gentle squeeze. You know, I don't know this. I'm just gonna predict this and stuff. Like, the way how she's so upset about, like, hearing about her birthday and stuff. What if that tragic event happened on her birthday? I mean, I could really be wrong. Maybe it's because it's like a special time that, you know, maybe like this one time that she'd feel relief is now all of a sudden like collapsed or something. But I don't know. But that's kind of just my prediction. Like, what if maybe it's her birthday that when this whole horrible thing happened? That would, like, really, really suck. But, you know, I'm just predicting here, but I don't know. We'll see. Lily gives Hanako's hand a gentle squeeze. Is it alright by you, Hanako? It won't be anything lavish or overdone. Just something small in my room. So just in the school, just us? That's right, just the three of us. If you like, I could ask Akira to come as well. Oh, that's kind of like last time, you know, the last birthday party, and when Akira came by, like, she brought the wine and stuff, but I'm assuming there's not going to be any drunk... I mean, maybe, I don't know, but I'd be surprised, but I don't think so. Like, we already have our pajama moments and stuff. I don't think something like that's going to happen again, but maybe. Okay, you're only going for a week. 1 week or two, yes. I promise you it won't be any longer. Okay. Most people would be upset at hearing about a friend's family member falling ill and happy at having a party, but with Hanako it seems that both events are on the same level. Alright then, you look like you need a rest, Hanako, so... You look like you need a rest, Hanako, so it might be best if we all went back to our rooms for now. You know that if you ever want anything, you can always talk to me or Hisayo, right? Lily's voice is pensive, an unusual edge for someone as confident in herself as she. I understand. Thank you, Lily, Hisayo. Well then, good night, Hanako. Night. I let out a long breath after the door closes behind us. It feels a little like I've been deep underwater and only now have been able to come up for air. Lily doesn't seem to be doing well either. She looks pale and drawn. Are you alright? I'm just a little tired. It's been hectic recently. Have you slept at all? A little tired sounds like an understatement, given how you look. I think I managed to get a couple hours of sleep before class. I'll be okay. I feel bad about pressing Lily right now. I think both of us are pretty tired from everything that's happened as well. I think you should get some rest. It's been a big day, and staying up isn't good for your complexion. Thank you for your concern, Hisayo. Good night, then. Okay, night, Lily. I leave Lily in the hallway as she opens the door to her room and begin to make my way to my own. As I walk down the quiet hallway, I can't get that image of Hanako out of my mind, huddled and pitiable, lying helpless with tears on her cheeks. I began to think that she was just a normal, if extremely shy person, but her problems run much deeper. Trying to take our relationship further than what we share now when she's so fragile and vulnerable wouldn't be right. I don't need to be more than her friend in order to protect her, to try and stop anything like this ever happening again. The possibility of my feelings for her going beyond that doesn't matter anymore. Hanako is precious to me, and that's why I can't take advantage of her. But even so, there's still that sting I feel when I think that way. For now, I need to sleep. Tomorrow, hopefully, will be a better day.